Hola, hola, hola. Hey, good morning, good morning, good morning. I know this is an odd time that you usually don't see me on here at this time, but I decided to do live trading for the people this morning. Live trading for the people, not just for me this time, but for the people. Let me see if I can turn on some Instagram here, see if we can get some people from over on Instagram to hang out with us a little bit this morning. See if we can do that. How's everybody getting ready to trade? The market is already opened. Excuse me, the market has opened, and we are going to look at stuff from a seller perspective. As a seller, we don't need to rush into the market. As a seller, we don't rush into the market. We take our time, and then we can get in based on what kind of price action we've seen. We can hop in after that. You don't want to stay there, do you? Okay. You don't want to stay there. I don't like you there either. Ah, la, la. You know, you got these little different things that are supposed to be the technology. It doesn't want to stay correctly. So I have a difficult decision to make. Go without it. You know, we can just go without it. Be like, well, you didn't do right. We just leave you behind and go on without you, with or without you, with or without you. We go on with or without you. We're going to look at some trades this morning. We're going to look at what seller trades we can do. Okay, this is probably going to have to be a let it go. Nah. It's not doing right. So when stuff don't do right, we have to. Sorry, all who are watching. The antics of Arlissa. There we go. Maybe. Y'all hear all this noise? You probably are saying, why didn't you set this up before you started the call? That would be good. That would make good sense, wouldn't it? To set it up before the call. Why not set this up before the call? Okay, looks like we're going good over there. Good morning, all. Good morning. I think I see a comment. Hello, a royal diadem. Ooh. Hello. Okay, so we're here this morning. We want to look at the market, look at what's going on with the market. Let me see about sharing my screen. And we want to look at what kind of sellers trades we can do this morning as we get going. What kind of trades can we set ourselves up for this week? That's what we're here to do. Now that I'm done deciding or figuring out my little pieces and parts, that's what we're doing over here. Let me share my screen so that way everybody can see what's happening. Share the screen. Let's share the screen. Share. Share the screen. Share. Share the screen. Okay, there we go over here. That way this can be, nope, not you, but you. There we go. Now we're officially sharing the screen. Let's see what's going on with SPX first thing this morning in our chart. See what the chart on SPX is looking like. Let's take it off of the daily, take it down to maybe a 5-minute. The market's been open about half an hour right now, looks like. Got about half an hour. I think we got some news I saw about Nikola. We traded Nikola a time or two. It's on our list of the options that we want to trade. And we want to see what's going on with Nikola. But let me check out SPX first, see what's going on there. Okay, well, today, there we are. Today, seeing what's happening today. Well, we got a little bit of run up happening as the market has opened. A little bit of, I'm on a 5-minute chart here. Notice here I've got 5 minutes. We got a 5-minute chart here. So every candle is worth 5 minutes. We had a little up run, drop a bit, up some more. The 200 period moving average is hanging out up here. This is the 20 period moving average and the 8 moving average. These will operate as resistance points, and the price likes to stay along the 8, but it always pulls back to the 20. But as this is going down, it'll may be an indication as to what's happening there. Okay, that's what SPX is doing this morning. Let's see what Nicola's looking like. Let's see what Nicola is looking like, though. Well, it had a little run up first thing this morning, which might have been orders that were in over the weekend. You do know that when you are in the mornings, every morning, orders that were pre-staged, people who may have put in orders over the weekend or overnight, those orders are processed first thing in the morning, and then they're in, a first come, first serve basis, and all coming in order. So the first 15, 20 minutes and probably 30 minutes on a Monday is just all those orders being processed that have come in overnight or over the weekend. So that's maybe what this is, not just on Nicola, but on everything. All the orders that were set for earlier, those come in and they're processed into the system. Then after that, we start getting the orders and things for today, right? What people are doing right now. But all the earlier orders have to process first. So Nicola's currently at $1.72. Also on Friday, AMC some news that caused a ruckus. We trade AMC, Nicola, we trade these guys as our cash secure puts and covered calls. We do a lot of these there. And this is what AMC fell down into the 3s Friday after market close. As you can see here, this is what happened. Let me do it a little bit wider so we can see it a little bit better. This is what happened Friday after market close. The price is falling down and falling down. Now, for those who like to buy shares of AMC, this could be a buying opportunity. AMC has had a $4 support for a long time. Looks like this fell through it on Friday after market close, after they got the news that they were releasing more shares in order to generate more income. Big drop here that happened with that announcement. And then now AMC is down in the it's at 331 right now. That's where AMC is currently. Okay, let's see what kind of things that we have. I put in some interesting pieces of some things we could look at for covered calls and cash secure puts. When we're talking about the wheel strategy, we've talked the wheel strategy a few times on our calls on our 2:00 lives. When we're talking the wheel strategy, you are selling puts first on a stock you like. Selling puts on a stock you like. Let me reiterate that. You're selling puts on a stock you like that you don't mind owning, because if you end up owning these shares, you want to be able to sell covered calls on them. So AMC is one we've been trading for a while. Now, I put in the 4.5 strike. This information was populated over the weekend before AMC had this huge drop, right? So you want to revisit the AMC to see what would be a good strike price. And I'm thinking, we'll go look together, but I'm thinking 2.5 or 3 may be a better strike price for selling a put on AMC. I don't at this point think you should, toss AMC out, because I think AMC still holds some good promise. They got good premiums. The movies ain't finna stop moving. You just need to get into a spot where it levels off. And if you end up with 100 shares at $2 and it continues to rise back to even $4, you doubled your money. All right. I know some people are really big against, using penny stocks, which is the stocks that are below $10. But, you know, I think it's some are fine and some are not. Everybody has to decide for themselves what works for them. Tupperware is another one we've looked at. We'll go look at that again. Let me make sure I got my notes here so I can remember where I'm going. We're going to go look at AMC and we're going to look at Tupperware. We just checked Nicola, but Nicola at a 1.5 strike really may not be a bad spot because it is about $1. What do you say, $1.70 now? AMSC is one that I haven't looked at before, but let's go check it out. And EOSE, I believe, is one that has to do with some batteries, some charging batteries. And then you can look over on the covered calls. Basically says if you have your 100 shares or you buy 100 shares, you want to sell covered calls on that. We can take a look at some of these. Finger and Wolf. You need to have, you know, some type of conviction about the ones that you like. We also got AMC and Tupperware on here. See, I like the fact that if you're going to do AMC and Tupperware and cash secure puts, then when you receive the shares, you're ready to do covered calls on them. And then you work the whole wheel on just those two. You don't have to do, I mean, I'm providing 6 things to look at. Oh, nobody's saying you need to trade all 6, right? It's just saying these are things you might want to look at. If AMC and Tupperware for us have been like rinse and repeats, then, you know, if you find something you like that's a rinse and repeat kind of thing, you just work that. You just continue to work that, right? Just continue to work it. This is where we are looking. I'm going to looking at cash secure puts ideas first. Okay, let's see what AMSC is all about. AMSC, American Superconductors. Oh, we knew that semiconductor. It says Superconductor Corporation. What if they do semiconductors too? I'm going to change this to a different time frame so we can see what's going on. AMSC is it's a $9 stock now, but I was saying that the 8 strike price for AMSC would be good. And you see here, if you're looking at this chart here, that the $8 is a good support area. Come on. Let me do it another way. Save myself. Here we go. The $8 mark is a good support. So if we look here, $8, see how it came here, boom, and now it's bouncing off of that. Let's go look and see what it looks like from premium standpoint. When we're selling puts, I like to see about getting at least 10% return on my collateral. And if you're doing an $8 strike price, you want to get about 80 cents, right? You may have to go out, but then you have to ask yourself, how far out do you want to go in time to capture your 10%? So here, if you're selling a put for the 8 strike, is $10. Again, that's, you know, no, because if you're doing an 8 strike, you're going to be putting the collateral in the amount of $800. The 8 strike times 100 is $800 of collateral. If you want to get about somewhere between 5 and 10% return on that money, you're going to need to go out a little further. So the 8 strike for the 25th of August is paying $20. That's not really good. September the 1st, there's no 8 strike here. Just jumped from 8.5 to 9. This is weird that it doesn't have it just all the halves are in here. But the 8.5 strike is $50. That at least is getting you more like a 7% return on your money. This is definitely getting better. That gives you 18 days with that trade going. Let me go out one more week and see what happens. 7.5 strike, September the 8th, paying $25. Let me see if I click this, if it gives a different number. No, it gives you the same amount. Sometimes when you select the amount of money, it gives you a different amount in the limit price. But in this case, not so much. So it looks like on September the 1st, if you were going to look at AMSC, then on September the 1st, you would collect $50 for the $850 of collateral. So that's about 6 or 7% return on your money. $50 divided by 850 is about, 5.8%. So 6% return on your money for $850 of collateral there. That's what you'd have to be working with there. Let's go look at EOSE. EOSE. I'm coming back to SPX and XSP here in a minute, but I'm giving it a little more time to see what kind of breakout we got going. EOSE, I didn't look at the chart first. Hey. Looks like it's hovering down here around the $2 mark. The $2 strike may be the one. I said EOSE at $2. Let's see what that looks like from a $2. I don't want to go out as far as that. Let's see what the 18th looks like on the 2 strike, $15. So $200 of collateral. Again, you want to get about 10%. So this is just below 10% return on that money. $15 back for $200 of collateral. Not bad. Let's see what the one more week does. One more week, you get for $200 of collateral, you're going to collect $25 in premium. That would be a decent little trade for EOSE. EOSE is Energy Enterprises, EOS Energy Enterprises. They do some unique things with batteries and charging, which I think is a good forward-moving thing for finding other sources of energy and power. You know, they're a $2 stock at this point, but, you know, they may have some long-term possibilities. So $8.25 for 1 week away, 11 days away. Sorry, you get going with that. Tupperware. Let's go look at Tupperware. Tupperware chart. They've been falling on the daily chart for a while, but they're hanging out inside this support area, which is the 3-something, 336. Looks like the bottom of that will be like $3. So a 3 strike might work well on Tupperware. Let's go see what the 3 strike looks like on Tupperware for this week. 3 strike Tupperware, you would collect $20. That's about 7-8% return on your money. 6.7, like 7% return. If you go out one more week, the 2 strike. Did we say 2 strike? Yeah, we did. Oh no, we said 3 strike. 3 strike is going to be $35. There's your 10%. Looking at August the 25th as an expiration date, the 3 strike, 35, going to collect $35 there. There we go. Okay. Last but not least, let's take a check at what AMC is offering, and then we'll go back to XSP and SPX. AMC offers some really good premiums, even for today. See, AMC is recovering right out of that hole this morning. Like, we will not be kept down here. This has to be today. There's the 4th. Oh, no. It's down here. Sorry. Whoop. I'm looking at this green candle probably because I wanted it to be green. But no, we're down here at this point. Looks like we probably should I don't know if there's any support even down here because AMC hasn't been down this low in a while. Yeah, AMC has not been down in the 3s in a long time. Let me go get some more data so I can look back a little further in time. See what we got here. It's currently at $3.30, and AMC hadn't been down here in a long while, baby. In a long while. Okay, so let's go look and see what kind of trade prices we would see on AMC. If you want a 2.5 strike is paying $25, and a 3 strike is paying $61, probably because the price is so close to $3 right now. But even if you ran it for just this week, the 3 strike is paying $17, 2.5 is paying $4. Not really paying as much as we'd like to see there on AMC. But again, you're selling puts in that you can end up with shares at a cheaper price. AMC was just $5 on Friday, 5 and some change on Friday. All right, let's go check out XSP. If you all got questions, please put them in the chat so we can work and answer some questions we see here. Let's look at SPX. I can take us down to maybe the 10 or 15 minute time frame now. Maybe the market's been open now 45 minutes. Let me take us to the 10 minutes. See what's going on here in the 10-minute chart. Well, SPX has continued to climb its way up. Continued climbing. Right, I think I had some. I did. Here is what SPX is. I have on where all my charting stuff is over here in TradingView. If you don't use TradingView, you should check out the description and see that TradingView is something you should be. If you want to, sometimes TradingView offers like smaller time frames on what you can look at on the chart. You can offer smaller time frames and a little more indicators. Some of the indicators may not be in Thinkorswim, but they may have been created just to be used in TradingView. So I find that to be helpful there sometimes. So it looks like we're closing up this gap. There was a gap here that was just above price this morning from 44.64 to 44.69. This little gap, it was 44.68. It was a small gap that was just above price. Looks like that gap is being closed by price action this morning, but we do have some resistance right here at 44.70, and we've got some more resistance at 44.73 and some more up here in the 44.84 area. Remember, when we're looking at support and resistance, you're just looking at where does the price go and turn around? Where does it go and reverse? You're looking for peaks and valleys or places where price, stalls itself and then reverses. So you see, I've got a couple lines we can put on here. You see there's some resistance. Actually, this one here, there's also one right here at 44.70. This was a pretty big turnaround here at 44.70, and that happened on Friday. And you're right there in this zone. Once this gap fills up, you're going to be right here and ready to turn around, potentially there. And we've got some support. Actually, the support seems like a pretty big support right here in this range because there's so many prices. Some price action has hit the same spot a few times. 44.56, 44.56. They're right at the top of that gap it's hitting. And then there's some support here, 44.48. I'm leaving that. This was the top of that gap there. This is what's going on in the breakout. So if you're looking breakout wise, we look for breakouts in our community. That's one of the things we do. Let me switch to the 15-minute chart. We look for the breakouts, but we also, when you're looking for the breakout, we're also looking to see, are we going to bump into support before you expect the breakout to jump on and ride on that train? You want to make sure that you're looking at the support and resistance numbers to see, did it hit that, which is looking like here. We've got some, and remember, every line I put on here is not a hard line. It is a zone. Support and resistance is a zone. It's not hard lines, right? Not hard line. It goes up, comes back down, but it may go into the zone a little bit and then return from there. It looks like we're on the 15-minute chart. So according to the 15-minute chart, there was a huge breakout right here, but now we've hit a resistance area. We have to see now, will it return off of this resistance point, or will it just pull back a little bit to continue to go up some more? As sellers, what we're looking for as sellers, we're looking for places where we don't think price will go. As a seller, you're looking for places you don't think price will go, right? That's what we're looking for here. So let's see. I see that now XSP shows kind of wonky on TradingView to me, because the price, these candles should look exactly like the SPX candles, but they'll look different. Like it's like the candles get formed differently. I don't know what that's all about. Hopefully this will do its thing, because my 15-minute chart on XSP doesn't always want to populate. Looking like it's not populating here either. Still got some upward mobility happening here. I want to get this a little bigger. Make it a little more so we can see better. See, this is the candle that's forming. That on SPX, that candle had already formed. I'm not sure why it so this is the candle here, but on XSP, it's this candle that's just now forming. I don't know what's up with that. Don't know what's up with that. Okay, so what we look at is the breakout. Where does it now? Generally, the strategy includes you're breaking out after 15 minutes to see which direction we're going. In our community, we do wait to see what happens for a little more time after that. So that way we can see, is this a sustained breakout? Because again, we're looking at places where we don't think price will go. So we can put on call credit spreads, put credit spreads in places that we don't think price will go, right? If you're trading XSP right now, you're just taking off one of these, this last digit. So where you see 4480, if you're doing XSP, you're just looking at 448. If you're doing 4485 here, then as an XSP person, you're looking at 448.5. Okay, you're just taking that last digit, putting a decimal between the third and the fourth digit. That gives you the 10%. You're taking off the 10% here. Taking off the 10%. So let's go look and see from, I want to go to XSP though, to look at what trade we might be interested in this early 1023. What kind of, come on. As far as numbers go, we've talked before on here how we use the probability out of the money, prob OTM. We've used that as a way to determine what may be good strikes. Hey, mindset shifter, how you going? How you doing? We're looking to see, or if you're here on Instagram, you may want to come find us on YouTube so you can see my screen. YouTube. I'm trying to type it in, but of course, hitting the wrong buttons. YouTube.com at Educator2Trader. That way you can see the screen. To Trader. I'm passing it now to see the screen. Okay, there you go. If you haven't subscribed, then go ahead and do so. That's for all the people. If you haven't subscribed to the YouTube channel, go ahead and subscribe to the YouTube channel. Go ahead and subscribe. Okay, so I'm looking at the probability out of the money, and I like to stay, for me, I'm comfortable at greater than 70%. I don't really suggest everybody else do that. If you're not comfortable above 75 in the 80%, what that is basically saying is 75% out of the money. Whereas a seller, you want to be out of the money. That's the first thing. Probability OTM. If you don't have this on your options chain, you need to add this under layout. You can go find it. Probability OTM. There's also a probability ITM for in the money. If you're a buyer, I'm a seller of options. So hey, you're there and ready. So we're looking at probability out of the money, probability OTM. This is on Thinkorswim. So if you don't have that on your option chain, you may want to consider adding it. And what this column is saying is this is the probability of this strike being out of the money at expiration. So we're talking about August the 14th, which is today. The 445 strike, for example, has an 82% chance right now of being out of the money. Of course, as price action moves, these numbers move. You see their dynamic is they're not hard numbers, right? They're moving too. These numbers are moving also. So 82% right now, price starts going crazy or going a different one direction, these numbers can shift. But when you decide you're going to place your trade, you got to go with what data that you see. You got to look at your chart. You look at your probability out of the money. You may check your delta. These kind of things you're looking at, and you're making a decision based on what you can see right then, right? Of course, we can't tell the future, and neither can they. But this is a probability. We do trust in statistics and probabilities. We do that. Okay. So looking here, the 445 strike has a 80% probability of being out of the money. It was just 82% a minute ago. We were just talking about it. So I would look at this 445 strike. This is on the put side, though. Price has been going up a bit, right? Didn't we say price was going up? And I use SPX as my guide because the XSP is moving just like SPX. It's just, again, take off that 1%. But I look at the chart movement as my guide when I'm making a decision for XSP. That's how I do that. Looks like it went on past it, maybe trying to go up there and do what's happening. So a put credit spread may not be a bad deal, seeing that we're going to get maybe below the open. Let's go back to where we were though. Remember, none of this stuff is investment advice. I'm just here to help. I'm here to help give some guidance if we can. I'm liking right now between the 445 and 446 strike prices. I'm liking both of those. 445 would be a little more safe at this point because 446 is less than 70% probability out of the money, and I try to be above 70% at least. So 444, 445 on the put credit spread side. 444, 445. That currently is paying $10. Currently is paying $10. 444, 445, currently paying $10 in premiums. I suggested, we did a trade. We did a talk. I did a video maybe not last week, before last, where I talked about using $1,000, trading contracts on XSP, getting at least 10%, and then looking at doing 10 contracts. If you pull in over $10 and you do 10 contracts, then you've made your $100 a day. I was talking about using $1,000 to make $500 a week. Well, $500 a week is $100 a day. And I do have that video in my YouTube group. You can go check YouTube for using XSP to make $500 from $1,000. Make $500 a week using $1,000. And use the same $1,000 over and over and over, and you keep making $500. But what you're doing is you're making $100 a day. You're taking the $1,000, doing 10 contracts of at least $10, or, if you're only shooting for $50 a day, you can use $500 or less, and you can do 5 contracts. It all depends on what kind of goals. If you want to make $200 a day, then you use $2,000. Again, looking for a 10% return. Price seems to be coming down because this number is going higher and higher. But that's what we're doing there. All right. Or does everybody understand what I'm saying about that? You're taking an amount of money, let's say $500. You're looking for your strikes to make at least 10%, whether that's with one side or you're doing iron condors, which is call credit spreads and put credit spreads. And then you're making at least 10% in premiums. And then you rinse and repeat over and over and over, day after day. Good thing about XSP and SPX is they expire every single day, right? Around this time, 10:30 is what we're using as our time to confirm or to see what price action is doing. SPX looks like the price has gone up. It's hit some good resistance here at the 44.70 area. So now what we may want to look at, think about, is this going to try to come back at it? Maybe, maybe not. Okay. Underneath the opening here, we were looking at 445, which is below the open. 445 for, SPX is down in this area, the top of this gap. 445 would be down here, all below what's happened already today. So I'm liking that. Let's go on. We've got $13 it's going to pay right now for that contract. 444, 445. Again, this is not investment advice. This is me offering some suggestions on how do you locate the strikes for your XSP or SPX. How do you locate strikes based on the breakout strategy? Looks like I collected $12 for every $100 of collateral. So really $88, but that's 12% return on that collateral. And I just need that trade to go the rest of the day. When you have these, you open them and your thought is that you will have them expire worthless at the end of the day. Okay, if you've got questions about what I'm talking about, you're gonna need to put them in the comments so I can see them. All right, if you got questions, you got to put them in the comments so I can see them. Okay. I'm looking at let's go look at SPX. See what SPX is doing. Now, I recommend, if you are somebody who is newer to this, you want to try, you want to start off number one in your sim and paper trading. Don't jump out live unless you're, wild, like some people are. Some people are aggressive like that. And I won't, I won't, put myself in that category, even though I generally am. But I want you to use more wisdom than that. You be wiser than that. But you want to try in your paper trading, try in your sim. And when you're ready to go live, let's go live with XSP first. Don't go live with SPX. Not yet, because if you're not ready, you're not ready. And SPX is a 5 spread. So every trade you're placing, you're putting $500 of collateral on the line. To some people, $500 is not much. To some people, it's a whole lot. So you just want to be comfortable with the process and the strategies as you go into that. Okay, you want to be comfortable before you start putting your money on the line. You want to be more comfortable. All righty. So let's look here. Excuse me. Let's look here at the SPX chart. Looks like we can still check out the put credit spread here. Let's go back to we're still at this point seem to be going up. Put credit spread, you want to go, with the momentum. If you want to do it that way, that could be your first entry. Looking at our probability out of the money. When you're dealing with SPX, you want to definitely get into the 80s. With SPX, you want to get into the 80s, maybe 80, 85. You really kind of want to be in a more comfortable place strike wise. So 44, 45 is at 86% out of the money. 44, 50, 82% out of the money. Somewhere in here, the more comfortable. You want to do 44, 40, get a little more comfortable. That's in the 90s probability out of the money. No, XSP is only $100 of collateral because it's a one spread. Ron, you hear me? So because XSP is a one spread, it's only $100 of collateral. And SPX is a 5 spread, so it's $500 of collateral. And what do I mean by these spreads? You see, when I switch over to the vertical screen, between 44, 4445 and 4450, that's 500. That's a 5 spread. There's 5 points between these two numbers. That's the 5 spread. 5 spread times 100 shares is $500. But when you're looking at XSP, and you're on the vertical screen, then there's from 440 to 441, that's only a 1 spread. From 440 to 441, there's one difference between there. 1 times 100 shares is $100. That's the collateral or the spread for XSP. Now, you can always widen the spread. If you want it to be 400, you can change this to 440 to 442, 440, 443. You can widen the spread if you want, but the minimum spread for XSP is $100. The minimum for SPX is a 5 spread, which is $500. All right, you can always widen it if you like, but the minimum for SPX is $500. It's a 5 spread. All right, come on, baby. Go ahead. Let me switch this back to the single because we were looking at the single legs and we were looking at what 44.50 and 44.45. That's what we were looking at here. So now I'm switching it back over to vertical. Let's see what kind of money is available. No problem, Ron. That's what we're here for, to clarify all things. So if we're looking at the 44.40 sale leg, that one is paying $20. That's paying $25 here. $20 or $25 is about a 5% return on your money. If you're leveraging $500, 10% return on that would be $50. If you're leveraging 500, 10% is $50. So if you're taking in 25, you're taking in a 5% return on your money. You're leveraging $500 in order to capture 20 or 25. $25, $25. If you're safe place, then you're in good shape. We may be able to go up one more though. We said 44.45 as the sale leg. Might have been okay. Basically, it was in the 80s. Right? So this is collecting $35 in premium at the 44.40, 44.45 put credit spread. Now, if you're not really clear on when I'm calling out these numbers and spreads, and if spreads and that thing, you got to get clearer on how to do credit spreads, right? And there's two ways you can get clearer on that. I've got some YouTube videos which are out there. They go into some detail, but I also have an entire training that talks about credit spreads, how to do credit spreads for income. You can check that out at Educator2Trader.com at my website. And I do also a run through of the inside the training of the SPX and the XSP, the one that's running in the ticker at the bottom. I do a real good overview of credit spreads for these two. So that way you can understand when I call out a number, I'm only calling out the sell leg. The buy leg is basically the next one, but that comes with understanding of those two. Okay. That comes with understanding. All righty. So we're looking here. If you were looking at 44.45, 44.40 as a put credit spread on SPX, that was paying $30. And we also took a look at the price must still be going up because these prices are going down. Look at the chart real quick. SPX must still be going up because the money and the put credit spread money, yep. The put credit spread money is going down. That means our breakout has broken out to the upside at this point. All righty, which is why a put credit spread is a cool way to go. Now, if you don't know anything about the PDT hack, come on now. That PDT hack is a game changer. What the PDT hack does is you turn on this first trade going with momentum, and then you set your PDT hack, which locks in your profits. PDT hack says, I'm putting on a put credit spread, right? Because price is going up. I'm going to lock in a call credit spread at that same price. And I'm going to lock in a higher premium for that call credit spread. So that way, the difference between those two is my money. So you lock in your profits. That way you don't have to worry about this trade all day long. You don't have to worry about this trade all day long. You got two ways to learn about the PDT hack. It's inside that same SPX XSP training I mentioned. Let me put this in the chat real quick so that way we'll know. I think it's running in the ticker, but bit.ly/SPX training. Oh, that's not right. It's got a G in there. That G is not supposed to be there. We need to delete that comment. No, we don't want to block the user. That would be me. bit.ly/SPX training. I think that's right now. There we go. Why didn't that one delete? All right. So you can go there. There's talking about SPX and XSP on how to use these and the breakout strategy and the PDT hack. If all you need is the PDT hack, you can also find at my website, Educator2Trader.com, you can find the PDT hack on its own. It's in written form, like in an ebook type of form. You can get it that way too, right? I think it's got some screenshots or whatever inside of the ebook, have some screenshots and screen captures. But if you want to see it in video, you want to see it actually in motion, you're going to need to check it out inside the XSP SPX training. You're going to need to check it out in there. Oh, here it is. Let me switch over to a different message. That way you can see what I'm talking about. Okay, so we looked here at 44.50. I'm going to check one more time on the single leg. All the single legs. Let's look at the single legs. So the 44.50 leg now is at 87% probability out of the money. 44.55 is at the 80. So you're even able to get a little bit closer. So when you get into your 44.50, 44.45, 44.50 trade, you got 87% chance, it says now, for that trade to be good. 87% chance. Looking at the chart, still going up here. That way, what we just talked about was putting I don't get to put any, I can get to right, but we looked at down in here, 44.50. 44.45, 44.50 put credit spread with the thought of, the thought that it's going up. And we put this put credit spread down here. Probably should change the color and whatever of it. Change this to red and maybe make it a little bit bigger. Oh, I went from 13 to 14. Whoop. But this is where we are. 44.50 is the leg you don't want breached. And it's a put credit spread with price going up. Now, at some point in the day, I usually wait till afternoon time. I wait to see what's the call credit spread side, or where does price actually stop and reverse. But I give this, if I pick the one for the breakout, I keep wanting to say breakthrough, but for the breakout in the morning, I go with that first trade with the momentum, and then I wait till the afternoon to see where did it reverse, and then I may or may not, depending. If it runs the same direction all day long, then I don't jump in front of a moving train. That doesn't make sense, right? So if it doesn't turn back, you just go with your put credit spreads. But if it gets to a place up higher where it hits and then it reverses, then I will look at a call credit spread beyond that resistance place. I'll look at that beyond that resistance. So let me go back to, I'm going to go look here. These are the lines I put in for support and resistance on SPX. These are from the daily chart, but now we're coming up the next set of resistance. The next resistance place is between 44.82 and 44.84. Okay. Sherelle, I do trading. We talk about all this stuff inside of our membership each day. Today, I decided to go live with our live trading group, but we're here regularly. Check out my YouTube content. You can check out our membership where we trade together every day in the membership. Right? I'm going to put this in the, nope, that's not where that goes. Put this in the comment. We have a membership where we E2T, where we do trading together. We do a morning call together. Oh, I don't want you there. We do a morning call together, trade SPX and XSP and all the other things, all the seller things we do all together. Yes, ma'am. And of course, we've got lots of trainings, and we got our YouTube content. We do power hour. We have a virtual power hour, and every other weekend we do training on the different strategies. So like this coming Saturday, we're going to have training again, and we're going to talk about how do we defend our credit spreads. That's our training for this coming Saturday, is how do you defend credit spreads. You can get in on credit spreads and it can be going nicely. Then next thing you look up, it's no longer nicely. You're like, it was going good. What happened? Then it's no longer going good. And you're like, well, we were doing great there for a minute. This is what's happening with SPX right now. All right. But check that out inside the membership if you want to hang out with us. And listen, the group of people are such a supportive group and so very helpful. I just find that trading can be very lonely. Usually people are in their own space or in their own head or wherever, and sometimes just need somebody to ask, is this a good thing? Is this a good place? Is this a good strike? Is this a good, is this? That's what you're asking yourself. Is this? All the questions. And it's good to have somebody you can ask who's looking at things from the same aspect that you are. There are a lot of people who are online who are giving away buying type of things. Like it'll say, buy an NVIDIA put if it's under this. Well, as a seller, that's not what we're doing. We're buyers. So, we're sellers. We're not buyers. So you have to know, how do you take that data or that information that is provided from somebody else who may be providing call outs online, but how do you use that as a seller? How do you capitalize on that for yourself? Right? And that's what we do in our community. We're all sellers. We do a little bit of buying. We do straddles and stuff like that sometimes. We don't do a whole lot of buying in our community. There are some people who do, and everybody's the CEO of their own portfolio. If buying is what you want to do, some of the times, I wouldn't ever suggest anybody be 100% of a buyer, because buying can, over the long run, I just feel like you won't grow it. You won't grow your portfolio as well as a buyer as you would if you were a seller or a mixture. or a mix, especially if you don't got time to watch. Some of us have day jobs. You know, I teach, excuse me, I teach college during the day, and I can't be watching entries and exits on any regular day because I'm teaching. And when I'm teaching, I got all those eyes staring at me. I don't get to stare at my charts and process what's happening on my chart and process what I need to teach them next. So I have to have strategies that allow me to set the strategies up and not have to watch it a whole lot. And that's one thing we get from selling cash secure puts, selling covered calls. If you're using the PDT hack I mentioned, you can set that trade up. And once it's filled, you can go on about your day. You don't have to worry about whether my trade is going to look back, I'm going to look up, and it's going to be going nuts. And once you set it, you're good with that. The PDT hack is a way to get around. It's a way to get around the pattern day trader rules, right? Pattern day. The PDT hack is a way to get around the pattern day trader rules that says you can only do 3-day trades in a 5-day window. I would wish it was 5. You can only do 3-day trades in a 5-day window. When you use our PDT hack, you can do day trades every single day, and you set them properly where that way you can capture and lock in your profits every single day, and then you can go on about your day. I know I got some people in the community right now who got PDT hacks on and they don't went on. I have one lady who, you know, she works. So she sets the PDT hack in the morning and then she goes on about her work day. Then she shows back up in our power hour at the end of the day going, I did a PDT hack. I got some teachers who do the same thing. They teach during the day, get the PDT hack on early, let it go about the day. And then after their teaching day is over, they come back in and say, well, my PDT hack is done and we're good. Today's topic is about SPS, but I have a question. Do you still own shares of AMC? Yeah, I'm gonna come back around to that, Ron. Let's talk about that 1 second. And then for someone who is new to this, where should I start? Are you new, like new, don't know anything about options at all, or you just new to SPX, XSP, you new to selling? So clarify for me what you mean by new. I think I lost my shares. Let me go to my little Robinhood account. I think I lost my shares they were called away. When I say lost, it was a good thing. Don't worry that, listen, don't worry for me. This was a good thing. I think my Robinhood shares got called away because I was doing a covered call on Friday and I had the 5 strike and I believe the price closed above $5 on Friday. Maybe I wasn't really watching. I was watching earlier in the day and then it was above 5 then. I know it came down after market closed, but I think it closed. You're new to everything trading. Okay, then you need to probably consider joining up with our options 411 for newbies. It's a 6-week training. AINING, and you can also get there. It's starting this Thursday. Educator2Trader.com. Option 411 for newbies. It's a 6-week training. Starts Thursday. We cover all the stuff. If you don't know nothing, we start with the basics of what is an option. We start there. And looks like I still have 100 shares of AMC for those who are asking. It's usually temporary. Wait a moment, then try again. Okay. So options 411, we start with the basics. We do, terminology, how to set up your broker account properly, how to maneuver inside of your brokerage account. Then we start teaching about the charting. We teach charting. Then we teach the strategies that go with all of this. We try to help you get yourself up and acclimated in as quick a time as possible. It did get extended. It used to be a 4-week training based on the last couple of times. This is our 4th time doing it. Will be our 4th time doing it. as a result of the first 3, we decided to extend it 2 more weeks because everybody said it kind of felt fast, like it felt like it went kind of fast. So we made it 6 weeks instead of 4. All right. Yeah, looks like I have 100 shares of AMC, and I think I got them at the 3.5 strike price because I had a cash secure put. I'm thinking that's what this says here. I'm looking at my screen. Maybe not. It's saying here 425. Yeah, I got them in the $4 range. Looks like they're at $4.25. So I do still have 100 shares, but I still believe in AMC. I think they're going to continue doing their thing. So I'll continue selling covered calls against them, and I'll continue doing cash secure puts on AMC and on Tupperware and on EOSE. Those are the ones I kind of like. I don't have a Nikola trade going. Nikola had a recall back, but I like AMC, Tupperware. Tupperware's giving really good premiums. And EOSE I like because of what they're doing. I'm an industry interrupter type of chick. I like stuff like SoFi, things that are going to interrupt the industry. So EOSE is another one of those trades. And then these are reasonably priced, and they provide decent premiums. I don't know why can you see that message about the options 411 mindset shifter? Options 411. It's saying that it for newbies at Educator. Maybe it doesn't like that I'm putting the whole link in here, but I don't see where that should be a problem. Educator2Trader.com. There's no A there. Wait. Trying to type and talk at the same time. My brain works well, but sometimes it gets stuck. Okay. So what else did you want to know about AMC, Ron? You were asking that I own shares. Are you're gonna buy some shares? You're gonna do cover calls? What are you thinking about doing? Yeah, it took a big dip the other day, but basically I had a cash secure put. So when that happens, especially when it happens after the market closes, then you're just left with what you're left with. You're left with what you're left with, right? Mindset shifter, you'll get everything you need. There's people on this call right now who went through that options 411 for 4 weeks. It was 4 weeks all the other times, and they're still trading with us and still doing well. I promise you, you're going to get all the value out of it that you need. Okay, let's go back to, I need to go back and share my screen once again, so that way we can still see what's going on. Yeah, SPX is still going on about its way. Share my screen again. Is it less than 2.5? Oh, you're doing the call credit spreads. Oh, yeah. What kind of premiums did you get? That's a good. I think AMC is good rinse and repeat. I'm all for them and what they're doing at this point. AMC is going to continue. Again, the movies is still moving. They're going to still be doing their thing. This is the AMC chart. It's even coming out of the druthers even today. AMC has a almost like a cult following. 2.5 strike will be good. Let's go see what kind of money we see on AMC for. What expiration do you have, Ron? 2.5 strike would be $250 of collateral. He said he's got 10 of them, so he's leveraging $2,500 on his AMC trades at the 2.5 strike. I don't know what you got next week's expiration. Okay, so the 25th, 2.5 strike, paying $21. That's almost 10% return on your money in 11 days. Yes, sir. I believe Let me see. I have to go look here real quick. But I believe I don't have anything with the strikes this low. I think I've got a covered call going, which probably is ready to close on Robinhood now that the price has dropped so much. 2.5 strike. That means you're going to pay $250 of collateral and collect $21 in premiums. All righty. For those who are looking at it, who may be thinking about it. What do I have? I have AMC. I'm selling a put at 4.5. I need to close that because it's going to expire this coming Friday. I never like to have to buy back out of there, but then sometimes you're like, well, but I can also turn it. Sometimes when you're selling a put, you can turn it into a put credit spread, which wouldn't work in this case because the price is too low. That put credit spread would still be breached. All you would get if you did that was you close off some of the collateral. That's all you're going to buy yourself with that, and you could get some of your buying power back. That's how that goes. But okay. I was going to look too at, did we look at Tupperware? I think we did earlier look at Tupperware, AMC Tupperware, EOSE. We were looking at, we didn't do any covered calls. We didn't look at any covered calls. I think you should definitely start the wheel strategy with selling puts first, and then you rinse and repeat. If you end up with the shares, then you go to the covered calls. You end up with those, then you go to covered calls. Let's look at Fubo. Fubo TV. This is looking at covered calls now. All right. Covered call means you have 100 of the shares, or you buy 100 of the shares, and then you sell covered calls against it. This is something you need to have some type of indication that the stock is still going to be rising. It's still going to be going up. You want to feel too, along with the analyst, that the stock still has some good potential on the upside potential. Fubo is $2.27. It still falls in the little penny stock arena. If you bought 100 shares and sold it at the 2.5 or 3, there's not money there, but maybe you go out a week, you buy it for 227, put a 2.5 covered call on it. At this point, that's going to pay $10. Again, I still like to get 10% return on my money, whether I'm doing covered calls or I'm doing cash secure puts. So if you bought it for 227, the 2.5 strike in 2 weeks has paying $14. So that's not quite 10%, but it's getting on in there. Let's look at RGTI, Fubo TV, and Rigetti. Now, I don't know who these people are. Rigetti Computing Inc. I kind of stay away from the ones that only expire monthly because I like to be able to pick weeklies. I like to be able to pick weekly covered calls, not to have to wait a whole month. So generally, I won't trade covered call wise or even cash secure puts. I won't do the ones that only have monthly expirations because I like to be able to pick weeks, right? So that for me would put Rigetti off my list because I want to be able to choose week to week. Same thing with Finger. It's only expiring monthly, so that would put it off my list too. Let's see what Wolf is. This is Wolf. These things are coming off of the list I put out. I put out a list, covered calls here. Rigetti, Finger, Wolf, AMC, Fubo, and Tupperware. You know what out of yes, Ron. Get all you listen, rinse and repeat, and get all the juice out of it. But these are the ones I put these messages out over the weekend that include opportunities or things you could maybe want to trade. Again, not trading advice, not financial advice, just the place if you're interested. Okay, so looking at Wolf. Oh, it should be Wolf, WULF. Don't know if Terra Wolf. It's also a monthly one, so that wouldn't work for me. TUP, AMC. I think we talked about all the other ones. Fubo, Wolf. I find these on bar chart. For those of you who are, I find them on bar chart. There's another, I'm actually going to do a video here soon comparing bar chart with some of the other screeners. But I go to bar chart. The bar chart has a free screener. It also has a paid side. If you want to join up with them, they have a free side and a paid side. I go to barchart.com. I put in options. There's a whole video, I believe, on my YouTube channel talking about using bar chart. But I go here for covered calls or naked puts. If you're going to start with the puts, just look at the under options and naked puts. And what it provides for you is, well, come on. It gives you a list of maybe not. I'm streaming, so it is wanting to run slow, baby. We're here. Come on. There we go. Throughout the day, every day, this populates. And I don't know what their timing is or what they use as their criteria. I'm not really sure. Again, this is the free page. So you can only thing you can manipulate on this page is you can change this data in order form, but you can't change your filters or anything when you're under the free. If you want to be able to set your own filters or whatever, you have to go ahead and pay for it. And I paid for it before. It is worth it. I didn't use it to its full usage, but it has lots of power, lots of data. There's a lot of great things are here. They give you the first page of their stuff for free. If you want to get deeper and more involved, you've got to pay for it. But this is what's on the list on the naked puts screener right now. And I'll go here and put on, and I'll click on strike. That way I can see. I'll start from the lowest down. And SoFi's on the list. SoFi's my darling, in case y'all didn't know. SoFi's my darling. And these are the stocks I'll look at. But I'll go look to see, if I click here on the plus sign, and I go to the page about SoFi, it gives you information about the stock. I'll go to opinion. Now, this is the opinion of the technical people that they have, the analysts, and the analysts for that they got the opinion of says that the current trending strength of the market is good. So it says a buy. If I'm doing covered calls or cash secure puts, I'm also always looking for it to say buy here. AMC for a long time was the sale. It was kind of a weak sale, but that's because it was, AMC has its own set of haters, I think. But I knew it had a pretty good support at the $4 mark. So I continued to trade AMC for that reason. But if anything I don't know anything about, I'm looking to see that it says buy here. I wanted to say buy or strong buy. So SoFi has a buy next to it. Let's see. AMC may not have a buy next to it now. It's going through a little bit of a rough patch. But let's see what's on the opinion. See, it says strong sale. It's at $350 now is the price, and it's saying sell it. But you look over here, these short-term indicators only 50% sale. So the overall is an 80% sell it. The current strength is soft, but it's strengthening. So you can look at these. You can look at these things here. Let's look at EOSC. Okay, Rasa says you can find the lowest price first and then push reload, and sometimes you'll get more affordable stocks for the screener. Okay, that's a way to make it load the lower prices. EOS Energy has a weak sale. Is its opinions. The medium term says to buy it. Long term says to 0% hold, and short term 50% sale. That's why it has a weak sale here. But this is where I go to check out different options or thoughts to see and they give you the price, they give you the strike, what expiration date to pick, and what kind of money you should look for, the delta IV. They give you all kind of information over here. The most you want to look for is definitely the price and the strike. What kind of strike price and what kind of bid, which is the money. What kind of money are you going to get at this expiration date that they're talking about, right? They're saying for EOSE, $2 strike price, August 18th expiration, you should expect to get $15. Okay, that's what that's got going on. Okay. All right, let's go back to our chart here. See what SPX is doing. See if SPX has done anything fancy while we were away. Now we're starting to come into the middle of the day, 11:30, 12 o'clock ish. Definitely the market gets real choppy because the people who, the professionals, have now set what they're going to set. They're getting ready to go to lunches. They're doing meetings. They're doing other things right now. So the market gets real choppy between 11:15 maybe, all the way up to about 1 o'clock, because that's lunchtime for people. About 1 o'clock, you have another mini power hour, I call it, where things kind of kick up again at 1 o'clock. People are back at their desk. They're doing stuff. They're moving around. But, supposedly 11:30 to 1 o'clock is like amateur hour. So even though we aren't necessarily experts, I don't like to call myself a flat out amateur. So I try to be gone in that same window of time. I try to be gone as well, or at least not to be trading, because I don't want to be caught up in the crossfires either. So SPX at this point has hit some resistance. And has turned back, or is turning back. This is going to be, looks like it's kind of almost at this point an engulfing candle. And an engulfing candle, well, maybe not quite, because it's got wick up here, where the next candle engulfs the previous one. I don't know if I have engulfing turned on. I did have it turned on before. Show patterns. Oh, I wanted to show my patterns. There we go. Select patterns. I believe I had, engulfing is still turned on. So it'll basically it'll show when a candle engulfs another, you'll have, and I think that's what this arrow means, is the engulfing means it's engulfing going in the other way. An engulfing candle can be a way to symbolize the change in direction, right? An engulfing candle lets you know that we're changing we may be changing direction. Right, it's going back the other way. So keep an eye on this. Remember, I talked about earlier, this is a 15-minute time frame right here. When I'm trading credit spreads, I look generally at the 15-minute time frame. And when the open, if I'm looking at the open, which a lot of times I'm not, but if I'm looking at the open, I'll be on like a 2-minute or a 5-minute at the open. And then after that, I switch over to 15, because I want to be able to see larger trends. I guess you could say that. So let's see, if we were to just look here, I don't know if we're turning back yet, so it might be a little early to be, it's definitely early to be looking at the call credit spread side, because we haven't, it's still morning time. I just want a little more. If I put on the call credit, the morning trade, I want to wait till the afternoon to put on the other side of that, if at all, right? So we're looking, if we were checking at this point, which is a little early, I'm just doing this now because I'm getting ready to close this call up. But what you're looking at is we already got the put credit spread side going. So we would look later after the price hits its resistance and returns or reverses. You look on the call credit spread side. Again, you're checking your probability out of the money. Looks like 450 at this point has 87% probability out of the money. So you would look at 450, 451. If I was looking right now to enter this trade, which I'm not, but if we were, these are the steps. This will be 450, 451. It's actually paying about $6 right now. If I click this, it may be a little bit more. Paying $7 right now on the call credit spread side. 450, 451. And that's based on the probability out of the money being 87% right now. Again, I don't really trade the opposite side until afternoon time. Afternoon, 1 o'clock, I wait to see what the morning price action has done before I look to the other side for an afternoon trade, if I do one at all. If I've gotten the profits I'm looking for in the morning, I may not do anything in the afternoon. Remember, we were talking about getting the 10%. If I put on a trade in the morning where I got my 10% with the morning trade, then I won't necessarily put on the other side, because if you believe your first trade is good, there's no reason to put yourself in the way for something to go wrong, unless you have to, right? All righty. What questions do we have as I wrap up today? We have talked about selling puts. We have talked about selling covered calls on this call. We have looked at SPX and XSP for our daily run. We've talked about using bar chart as a screener. Yes. We've talked about AMC continuing to be a usable stock. It's still usable. Yes. And that's about it. Okay. I'm wrapping up. In this community, We do a couple things. Make sure that you subscribe to the YouTube channel if you haven't yet. Subscribe to the channel, right? If you want to check out the different products and trainings we have, that's all at Educator2Trader.com. If you want to look at the membership, that is also there. bit.ly/SPX, no, bit.ly/E2T membership. That's there. If you're looking for the Options 411 training, oh, you do, Ron. Good. You didn't utilize that. Options 411 for newbies training starts this Thursday. It's a 6-week training. You want to get in on that, you can go over to Educator2Trader.com and get registered for that and signed up, so that way you can do the Options 411 for newbies. If you're a new, you want to get started selling options as a seller, you want to start trading options as a seller, you want to go and hop in on that. All righty. You see, we've got our Stay Green and Get This Money shirts. That's what we do here. We stay green and we get this money. You can go ahead into that bit.ly link I put in it's on the ticker as well, and grab you a shirt too. Yeah. All righty, you all. I will see you around the way. Hopefully I'll see you in the membership and see you and you can comment or whatever on YouTube. I really try to answer those comments, and we'll see you around. All righty. We're staying green and we're getting this money. Goodbye, everyone.